So welcome back. We've got Kalli back for her third session with us. And for those of you that listened to the first two sessions, I'm sure you're as excited as me to just hear the next steps in her healing process, in her healing journey, and just how pranic healing changed her life for the better. So welcome back, Kalli. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
And when we'd finished off on the last session, you had basically really, I think, started your pranic healing journey in terms of giving back, doing healings for friends, doing healings for your husband, taking it to the next level. And what I was suggesting we discuss today is just to go into a little bit more detail on your husband's journey. I know you had done a lot of work and you had done all the meditations and all the healings. And when we finished off last time, you were doing a good number of healings on your husband. But there was quite a pivotal point. I think it was sort of just after Thanksgiving, where it felt like your husband hit a little bit of a roadblock. And I'd like you to share that story of how you overcame that obstacle and the tools that you had learned in pranic healing and how that was so instrumental in helping him move to his next level of healing.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again. I'm happy to share our journey. I think the number one essence or message of that is asking for help. Like asking for help. Um, so when we last finished speaking, we were speaking about after pranic psychotherapy, which was just game changing for me because I felt like I now had the tools to deal with a lot of the deep seated grief, deep seated anger, deep seated resentment, which was a lot of um, what I was feeling when I was healing my husband. So I think what I mentioned is after basic pranic healing, I was able to help work on his arms, work on his legs, work on some of his body ailments. But the bigger stuff, the guilt, the shame, the feeling like people were judging him, the criticisms, that sort of stuff I didn't really have the tool belt for until after pranic psychotherapy. So once I got that tool belt, I started to work on my husband a little bit more because, as I had referenced before, we were really in two different places. Part of that was our style with grieving, right? I was actively sought out, like how do I help myself so I can be available for others. He really more reverted into his own shell. And so we were trying to balance that and trying to work through that. So I started working pranic psychotherapy on him, and uh, what I can only describe as I would clean his min ming, and he knows this now, so he'll laugh. It felt like I was cleaning a concrete wall. Like I felt like there was nothing I could really do to help him. And same thing with his back solar plexus. Like it just really felt like I could be cleaning all day long, and I wasn't getting anywhere. I wasn't getting anywhere. I wasn't getting anywhere.
I have to
And
pause you right there because
yeah.
I'm having such a moment of, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. Because literally, like 2 sessions ago, you were talking about not even knowing about what a chakra was. And now you're like, even describing like how it feels and what you were doing, like you've been doing this your whole life. And I just want to interject because like I just had a moment of, oh my gosh, go Kalli.
And that's really, I mean, this has been life changing. And I would like to highlight that it's been a year and a half. Like I have only been on this journey from when my son passed to today. Well, a year and 3/4, because in April 2022 will be 2 years. I mean, this is how fast and how miraculous this journey has been for me. And ultimately how it ended up for my husband too. So the behaviors that my husband started having, because he wasn't receptive to having the same level of healing, some of the things was he would be very resistant to seeing other people, right? He really stopped a lot of the relationships that he was having. He did not want to have fun. Like anything that involved like doing anything that could remotely even be considered as fun was like taboo. And a lot of that was because there was a lot of guilt and shame around like, how am I continuing to live my life when my son has passed? All of these things are normal, like totally normal grief for a bereaved parent. Also totally able to be healed through pranic healing. So working with my husband now, a couple of things that he did really, really good, which I also learned in pranic healing, was he spent a lot of time gardening. So he spent a lot of time gardening, a lot of time outside, a lot of time in the deep dirt soil. He would move trees around on our property. Like he would take it from here and move it over here, and then he would move it from here and put it over to here. And he was very much outside. He created a beautiful garden for our son and added a bunch of new plants. So there was a lot of stuff that he was doing, which is, I think, how our marriage stayed together during this period of time. But there was still more to do. Um, so ultimately, what ended up happening is I went to advanced, which was super helpful. And during this period of time, I'll just share because this may help somebody else one day, is that I had two other very significant issues that I was also battling with at the same time that I was battling with my grief. I had a substance abuse problem with alcohol. I was drinking almost daily. And I also took a pill that I had been taking for 8 years. So the alcohol problem and the pill problem had preceded my son's passing. So that was already in place, very well established before my son passed. And then once he passed, it just kind of amplified, because really everything amplifies when that happens. And um, and so after advanced, I was able to start healing myself from those substance abuse issues, and that just leveled up our relationship again. I started to feel the alcoholism in my throat chakra, and I deeply, deeply cleaned and released that. And then the day came where I couldn't even take the pill anymore. We're taking the pill in my brain. If I took that, I would have it in my hand and I would say, "This will give me anxiety. I'm not going to take this," and I would put it down. And never in 8 years did I have that experience. So the truth about pranic healing, starting to really heal yourself, you're really healing. Like I saw that happen in real life. A pill that I had taken for
Like
8 years.
with one issue, but the areas in your life that it impacted were so profound. And I see that so often clients will come in with one thing, and it's all the unexpected gifts in other areas of your life where it has that spill over. And sometimes I feel like that's even more important than sometimes the initial thing that they came in with.
Yeah, definitely. Because these other two issues were issues that I had that I always thought to myself, like, I'm going to take care of that eventually. I mean, it's not too bothersome, right? I got this great job. I have this great family. Like it's a problem and I'd like to address it one day, but it's not that big of a problem, right? And then I start to get into pranic healing and I find that it's impacting my ability to meditate, and I really want to meditate. So, I got to cut some of these things out. So as I started to heal more naturally, and my husband also, who shares a spiritual cord with me, right? We share the same heart cord. He started to feel that, and he started saying to me after pranic psychotherapy, he said, "I can really see a change in you, Kalli. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what it is, but I see that there is a change in you. I see it. I see it." And this was huge for my husband. This was a huge thing for him to say, because he was very resistant to the concept of energy healing or meditation or any of this, frankly. It was always, I would tell Nicole, I'm okay, I want to go to this class. Give me like 2 weeks to talk to my husband about it. I felt like I had to gear up and get him on board
And
do
now
it.
he's saying to you, when is the next class that you're attending, right?
He is. He's now saying that. So how do we get from there? How do we get from resistance and anger and isolation and leave me alone to really just where we are today, which is a miraculous change? And what happened was, just around Thanksgiving, I we were just talking, and he said to me, I don't want to do Christmas. I want to do Christmas. You do Christmas on your own leave me out of it. I don't want to have anything to do with it. You do whatever you want to do. Just leave me here to suffer eventually, or ultimately is what I heard from him. Like, just leave me alone. I don't want to do life anymore. And I said, oh my God, what are we going to do? This is a crisis. What are we going to do? So I did the thing that I had learned how to do, which was contact you. And I said, Nicole, I need help. I need help. I need help. I need help. And luckily, because I had been involved now in so much pranic healing, I had been involved in the remote pods. I started volunteering to help other individuals, and I had been involved in doing these classes and really building my connection in the pranic environment. When I made that call and I said, Nicole, I need help, I need help, Nicole said, okay, we can help you. Right?
So I remember that so clearly, and I could feel your anguish, and that was such a big ticket item to deal with because you still had your child. Christmas is a beautiful time of the year. It's a beautiful family time to just celebrate together, and having a significant other wanting to just bow out of that and not be involved, it's devastating, on so many different levels. And I think that's what's so wonderful, is we've got the skills, but sometimes we do just need to reach out and ask others for help. And I think that's the one thing I feel so blessed, that we have created the most incredible pranic healing community. And I can honestly say, like, any one of our pranic healers would have dropped everything to help you in that moment. And it wasn't even one pranic healer. I think we had like 20 in the group at that
20.
time.
Yes.
All like, right, we're there, gloves on, crystals on, let's go, let's do the healing. And we started healing him. I think it was, we only had like 3 weeks, I think it was before Christmas, where we actually started doing a lot of psychotherapy on him, and really just working through on such a deep level the grief, the resentment, the anger, the fear of enjoying life because, of the tragedy that had happened. It was almost like there was a very deep-seated guilt, like, I don't deserve to be happy. And I remembered the group, and that was another thing, the one-on-one pranic healing sessions are just amazing, as you've heard already. But working in a healing pod where we've like literally got like 20 people in our pod, and so in depth and so specific and so concentrated, having 20 different people working on you for all sorts of different things. What we were able to achieve in such a short time was profound. But I think at most we maybe did 3, possibly 4 sessions, and you carry on from there. I don't want to spoil your surprise.
It was amazing. So I've already mentioned that I was doing healing on him, but I felt like I wasn't making the impact that was going to be evident in his life. And so when Nicole agreed to allow him to be in this healing pod, the miracle that happened for my husband is just, I don't even know that I can describe what a miracle this is. It was like a light turned on for him. He said to me, I feel okay. I feel like we can get through this. I feel like there's a future. I feel like he started talking to other people. It turns out that there's a bereaved father at his work. He reached out to that person and said, hey, I know what it's like. I can be a lending ear. Like, when he told me this, I said, you did what? Like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. He said, I'm telling everybody about this pranic healing thing. It works. It works. He agreed to go to Kids for a Cause volunteering event with us, which even before our son passed is something that he would have never, ever, ever participated in. And I said, you know what, I'm going to go. I'm going to bring Gia. It's a good cause. And he said, you know what, I think I can do that. And I was like, yes, you can. This is great. This is fantastic.
I remembered you texting me saying that he was going to join you. And like literally 2 weeks ago, he was like, I'm not celebrating Christmas. And now he's attending a charitable Christmas event with, I don't know how many people we had there, but it was at least 30 to 40 parents and children, through Kids for Cause, providing all essential items for the homeless. And I still remembered being so excited that he was going to come, because I just knew when he was in that space and looking at the bigger picture that, yes, I'm suffering, but I'm helping people that are even worse off than me. And he arrived there like the spirit of Christmas. I mean, he was in it full on, wrapping gifts, packing boxes, putting them under the Christmas tree. I even was like a little bit hesitant about saying, well, could we do like a family Christmas photo in front of all of this? And he was there like, let's do 5, you know. It was amazing. It was amazing. That was just, and how was he after that? I mean, I'm sure it must have made a huge impact for him.
It has. It has made a huge impact. It's still today. Like I really feel like he is. I mean, it's miraculous. Luckily, Nicole is hosting a New Year's event tomorrow that we're gonna go to, that I'm gonna go to. And when I said to him, I'd like to go to this meditation, what do you think? He was like, sure. How long are you gonna be? No problem. I mean, it just is. It's miraculous. He's talking to individuals. He's happy about the future. He's excited about what to do next. He's. I mean, it just. I have no words to describe how grateful we are for Pranic healing and how much it has changed our lives.
It really is remarkable, and it's part of the reason why I wanted to put the series together. I've just come across so many people with such beautiful stories, and I would never have even imagined you would be where you are now a year ago. And it's just so incredible. And one of the sort of foundational things we do in pranic healing is really do a lot of gratitude. And I wake up every day grateful that this is my job, this is my career. I get to spend my day with people like you, making a difference in their lives. And I have so much gratitude for the teacher, Master Choa Koksui, and his gift to the world through pranic healing. And I always go back to his very first book for the level 1 pranic healing is Miracles Through Pranic Healing. And I'm like, how many people have these miraculous things happen to them just through the course of pranic healing? And whether it's receiving a healing, giving a healing, being part of a healing pod, taking a class, learning the teachings, doing the meditation on twin hearts, everybody's got a different journey in pranic healing, yet the teaching just brings us all together. And to be part of this pranic healing community, I mean, I have just met the most incredible people. So I'm so grateful that you got to share your story with everybody. I'm almost imagining we will be doing another session just as like a recheck of, I mean, your progress has been so profound over a year and a half. I'd like to see, like, over the next 6 months, over the next year, like chapter number 2, Kalli 2.0, like where's the next thing? Because it's so exciting to see. And you know that we don't know what the future holds for you, but I definitely know you're going to take this work, you're going to inspire more people and just be a beacon of hope for people that are suffering, to be able to sit in that space and say, I know exactly how you feel, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and these are the steps you need to take, and they're baby steps. And if you can trust the process and just be receptive and have the faith, you can cross that finish line. And we don't know where that finish line is. You know, we always healing from something, but just to release that heaviness of that grief, that suffering, that trauma, that can be literally life-saving for so many people. So thank you, Kalli.
Without a doubt. Thank you.
So much. Take care. Lots of love. Thank you.